Well, if you don't know about your credit, you better learn about your credit. And we've got an expert here that's telling us all kinds of trade secrets, things that you should know to make sure when you're going to get a house or a car or you're trying to get something you really need, you've got the credit to do so. Stay tuned for this one, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to Your Little Castle Show. If you haven't had to deal with your credit, then you haven't lived on this little planet in this country for very long, because it's inevitable. Somebody's going to say, well, what's your credit score? We've got to get, so what do you want to get some furniture? They look at your credit. You want to get a credit card? You look at your credit. Home, car, all those things, so important. I was so excited. I thought for sure there was a time back when I had to get a little help, because I started a company, didn't have any credit built up. I went back again. My mom loves me, so it worked out. But they said, hey, just run it without any co-signers. And I've got the money, except that I just didn't have a credit because I started working for myself. And until you get like 2 years for working for yourself, that's something too. Is that also? And so then, but then I didn't realize I'd been there for 2 years. I said, okay, I'll send it in, but you're still going to have to get me a co-signer. They're like, no, you're approved. Hey, and this is the thing. It's little celebrations. You help people to celebrate because you've got, hold that guide up for everybody. This is a full guide that Toriano has put together. This is unbelievable. When you've got this kind of information that you've developed yourself as an expert, tell me a little bit about this guide and what you've assembled here for people so they can help themselves.
Got you. Which starts off with top 5 advanced credit repair tactics. And I put that together because there's a lot of people that, again, don't have the $297 down and the $97 a month. So I try to make something for everybody. And with my program, with this, if they pay the $297, it's kind of like a do-it-yourself. I'm giving you the letters. I'm giving you.
Can I hold that up?
If you've been evicted,
they're in here, man. You know exactly what to say. You've got everything outlined for everybody, and it's all
the phone calls, what you need to say to the debt collectors. So it's a do-it-yourself. You really don't need me, but some people want their hand held, and I get it.
Well, okay, yeah. So how often is it the case? I mean, what percentage of the people you deal with, they know exactly what they're doing to fix their credit? One,
yeah. Yeah, not a lot.
Okay, yeah. These are the things that you definitely have to have some kind of expertise with. With that, I wanted to finish up then. Let's go back to what is the biggest mistake people make. You said it's not knowing your credit. And I didn't get to ask you this because we ran out of time last show. Check out that first interview, everybody. Incredible information for you there. If you're looking to get your credit brought up, get a house, car, credit card, furniture, etc. But yeah, I'll just check it on Credit Karma. I'll check it on Experian. Where are the places to go to make sure you are getting accurate information, and how do you track your own credit?
I always tell everyone to go to Experian.com, and that's the most accurate. It's FICO. They pull FICO 8, and if you go off of that score, you'll be in a better position than most of my clients. Most of my clients will call and say, "Well, my Credit Karma says I'll have a 680." So when we hit,
I get my score, it's on. I want to show it, but everybody. Yeah, I've got a good score now. But you looked at it, you said it's got that FICO 8.
FICO 8, yes.
Okay.
Experian.com has FICO 8. Credit Karma, you may have a 40, 50 point difference. And I get a lot of clients come in and they'll say, hey, I'm trying to purchase my first home. My score is a 680. And I'm thinking, you only need a 620. So when we pull it, it's not even a 620. And they're just like, well, Credit Karma says this. Listen, to educate yourself, Credit Karma is not the place to go look at for your credit.
Just being honest.
Just being honest, it's not.
And what they're good at is collecting your information. Experian does this too. And it's saying, hey, you might qualify for this card. You might qualify for this. You've got great odds to qualify for this. And they're doing car insurance, credit cards.
Everything.
And they've got it all because they're in that space. So they've got all the information about you. They can say, hey, why didn't we think about this 10 years ago? But now that's where they're covered with all that. So very important to understand where all that comes from. But most all of what you do is personal credit. Do you help people with business credit too, or what do you specialize in?
We really don't, but I've talked to a lot of people. Once we get them, I just walk them through the proper steps to do what they need to do. So, for example, when we get you over 700, I'll tell you to since your TransUnion is the highest score, you need to go to banks that pull TransUnion. If you go to Truist Bank, they pull Equifax. So I kind of educate them on that as well, because
Wow.
what a lot of people do is it's kind of like throwing a noodle on the wall and to see if let me just see if it sticks. That's not what you do.
Right.
You had to be strategic. So if my highest score is TransUnion, I want to get the most amount of money from banks that pull TransUnion.
That makes sense, yeah. And you've got, because of your years of experience, you know what banks are pulling.
Exactly.
I learned that the hard way, and they ended up running the one that had the lowest score I was going for at the time. And they said, well, your score is lower on that one, and that's what we use, so you don't qualify.
Right.
And that was
That's a wasted inquiry. And like you just said earlier, let's just say if I go to 3 banks that pull TransUnion, 3 banks that pull Equifax, 3 banks, that's only 3 inquiries on each one, opposed to me just going to a bank and letting them just go crazy with it.
not a good strategy.
At all.
Not at all. Tell me though, what do you like most about St. Louis? This is where you're based. You've got clients around the country, but what do you like most about the people in St. Louis? And when you deal with people around the country, what do you like about that too?
I can pull up on them. I
Yeah.
can pull up to their house. I can pull up to their job. We can talk. They can come to my office. It's really personal. Really, it is. And a lot of people will come to the office, and they love coming to the office because they see I'm actually inside of the office off of a Brown Road with Berkshire and Hathaway.
Okay.
I use the title company there. The realtors that I use are there. So once they see all that, they're like, wow, you do have a one-stop shop. Because once I get your credit together, I'm going to walk you down to Dylan. He's a nationwide lender. He's going to get you together. If you need to go look for property, I even help my clients go find the property.
You've got the experience with all of that too, and just being somebody who's flipped houses in the past or renovated houses, boy, you know where to go from all angles to make sure. But when you get down to the detail, our expert here, everybody, Toriano Pride, owner founder, Paradyme Credit Systems, 314-239-1781. Obviously, you have, just by going through it, and more so than the average person who's had some experience, because you were coming in, I was like, oh, I've learned that, I've done this, and I start talking about, like what banks run, what credit. I mean, you've really nailed this down, so you can
Yes.
help everybody, including your whole guide that you made for everybody that people can have from you, but you've developed on your own. Great stuff. Tell me a time when you guys, I guess everybody falls in this category, but tell me a great example of somebody who was in a bad situation, you pulled them out, turned them around, and made life a lot easier for them.
That's everybody that we work with.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's pretty much everybody that we work with. The average client that we get is maybe a 500 credit score to a 600 credit score. And they're, like you just said, they're trying to start a business. They're trying to get a car. A lot of the guys that you have on this show actually are roofers and contractors. A lot of my clients need a roof, but they don't have the money, so they have to come to me to get the credit from the bank to get the roof.
Right.
So everything it comes back to me because they have to have the credit.
There you go. How often is it the case that you've walked in someplace and they go, your credit is not good enough? I mean, I remember a time when my scores were low. Best Buy was like, nope.
Yeah,
like,
I've been there.
I'm like, I need a new camera, whatever. And these are things that they keep you from starting and running a business. They keep you from being successful. Tell me a time, though, as somebody who's a business owner, a challenge you've overcome and that really helped you to learn. And I guess you can even go back to some of your own credit history stuff that you learned to fix on your own. Give me a couple times where you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that, but it made you a little smarter on this whole situation.
Pretty much what we just talked about, going into banks and not knowing where they pull from. Where I remember at one point my TransUnion was really high, and my other 2 were really low. And I went into, I can't remember, I don't remember the bank, but they pulled my score, and in my mind I'm thinking like, okay, I got a 790, but they pulled the 620 from Experian. That's where they pull from, Experian. So I couldn't get the loan, and I'm in there arguing with them like, no, my credit. I'm looking at Credit Karma, like I just said.
Right.
I'm not looking at they're pulling FICO 8. They're pulling a FICO score, but I'm looking at a Vantage score. So you got to know the difference between Vantage and FICO. Vantage is just another form, but most banks pull FICO. So knowing that, it helped me out a lot because at the beginning stages of this, 7 to 10 years ago, I didn't understand that.
And that's why you want to have that expertise so that you can nail down these kinds of opportunities, or else you're going to miss out on something where if you'd have qualified. Yeah. How much variance can there be between somebody's got you at 700, somebody else has got you at a 550? Is that possible between the different bureaus?
I have some clients that will come in and say they have a 680 and they just want to try to get to a high 7s. But when we pull FICO, they may be at a 640. It may be a 40-point difference. Credit Karma is typically a 40, 45-point difference.
Okay. Yeah, there's just a wide range there. But, I mean, even between bureaus, some people can have a 600 on one bureau, Experian versus Equifax, and it could be that much of a difference? Or are they all generally in the same ballpark?
Not generally in the same ballpark, because let's just say, for example, if let's just say I give you a loan, let's just say I'm Target credit card. Let's just say JCPenney's.
Okay.
JCPenney's may only report to Experian, but in your mind, I've paid this JCPenney's card off. I keep it under 10%, but they don't report to the other two.
Right.
They only report to Experian. So your Experian is probably going to be higher than the other two, because the credit reporting agencies love to see debt. It's like if you pay your car off, your score drops, because the bureau, the analytics of it, they love to see debt.
They want to make sure you've got a little bit in the game.
Exactly.
And that you're not just living. But unless you talk about a lot of people, they don't have credit to begin with, and you've got to get down that path. Talked about that on the first show a little bit, but make sure you've got the credit history, because if you don't have enough credit history, that's where some people say they piggyback on their parents' credit as kids before they're even 18. Is that a strategy some people?
Yes, I did my kids like that. My son is 22. My daughter's a lot older, but my son's 22. So with him not having credit, I had to put him on different cards. But like I had to tell him, his score was really high in the 8s, but you don't have any trade lines, any primaries. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everything is authorized users. So once he got those primaries on there, I'm like, okay, now we've built a nice file. So now we can walk into that. If you're trying to get you a property, if you're trying to get a car, we build it out.
It's nice to have a dad who's in the credit industry space, everybody, so you can get yourself approved for that loan, walking in the door to get that. I'm going to share with everybody a little bit about your website. You've got a very informative website here. I'm going to put this up on the wall, but this is your homepage here. Start off with a little bit about you, and then your commitment, your mission, and a little bit about the history and how many people you've helped. And just a lot of good information there. The About Us, these are all different elements on your site, some great videos and some informational stuff. But man, you've got a lot about every type of repossession, foreclosure, bankruptcy, judgments, collections, Q&A, pricing you talk about on the show here a little bit, and it's pretty standard. And then give everybody a little bit of education, and boy, all the different areas that you can learn a bit more. And of course, contact info, easy to get a hold of you. That 800 number goes right there to your cell phone, and then
and there's the trade lines. Like I said, we have anywhere from 2,000 to probably up to 50,000 in trade lines if you are looking to get your credit file built out.
There you go. So the expertise in all of those areas to make sure that this thing gets done correctly, and the trade lines can really help somebody boost their credit quickly.
Oh, definitely.
And that's something they'll. And shared trade lines, essentially, they're piggybacking a little bit.
Yep.
Is that how that's working? And make sure to get that credit up according to what the bureaus will see as credit that's on your record. With that, we're going to dive into some more of we'll finish up here with our guys from the SLU basketball team, and a little bit more about what we're doing in the community. Stay tuned. We'll be back here in just a minute. Mark, how you doing?
Amari.
Amari, I'm sorry, got that right. Amari, good to meet you. What position you play for SLU?
I'm guard.
You're a guard.
Yeah.
You can shoot, dribble, dunk, and the whole thing.
Yeah, just a little bit. I wish I could do it like him, but
We're going to talk to him too. All right, Amari. How excited are you about the upcoming season for SLU?
I'm very excited. You know, we got a group of guys, you know, that compete and, you know, that's willing to win. So, you know, it's fun. You know, you can't complain.
So is there going to be a potential conference championship in this maybe? Don't want to get you in trouble predicting. We don't do that in baseball. We don't do it in football. But do you at least feel like you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I said, we got a group of guys that's willing to win, you know, that's willing to dive on floors and get loose balls. So, you know, can't complain, honestly.
That's that hard work pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Mark. What's your first name?
Kalu.
Kalu. How long have you been playing with the SLU basketball team now?
This is going to be my second year here now.
So you excited having a new coach? This is his second year too. Did you come along with the coach? You like this program he's got put together?
Yeah, I came along with him last year. It's a great program, great environment. I'm excited for this new season.
So As a matter of SLU's place in the conference, you think there's a chance you might do well in the conference this year?
For sure, just gotta take it day by day and come compete every single day, and I think we'll have a great chance for that.
What position you specialize in?
I'm a forward.
So you can do those rebounds, maybe a slam dunk, and hit a three-pointer every once in a while.
For sure, for sure.
You need any help with your reverse slam dunk, you let me know.
I got you, man.
All right, everybody. We're here up at the event at Delwood, Juneteenth. Cardinal Cowboy. We'll be back.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer. Reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. So here we have it, everybody, and being in the big leagues, you get there with the help of our guest here today. Magnetize your media, though. Pick up our book here. This is #1 seller on Amazon in the segment we're in here for helping small business. Yours truly wrote the foreword here. I ended up writing essentially the first chapter for this book. They told me, and they said, hey, but how has technology changed? This show would not exist if it wasn't for technology. I'm the editor. I'm the camera guy. I'm the lighting guy. I'm the sound guy. I'm the producer. But now we've got all of our systems in place, and you can automate and do things a lot more efficiently. Likewise, technology in your space has got to be a big impact on your business. How have things changed since you started doing all this 15 years ago, and then when you started your own company 7 years ago? Tell me some of the technologies that have made a difference for you.
In my field, it's really crazy because, like right now, let's just say if you come to us and you have 3 collections and one is Santander or LVNV, we can go online now to AI and put in when was the last time they were sued? What were they sued about? It gives you all this. We don't have to do any of that anymore. We'll go research to find out if we needed to use code US 1693G, or it gives us all of that.
Talk about an expert. You got to know what to look for to begin with, but that's where you bring your expertise, and you can go research these things to figure out what statute or what credit regulation has got to be applied to get this resolved.
Because some of these debt collectors are coming after you, and they can't even collect the debt in your city. Like, there are so many violations that they do. They can't call you at a certain time. They can't. And when we find out what they've been sued for, we can attack it that way. Like, hey.
Okay, that's how that works.
So yeah. So.
Again, write down. This whole show should be just a big write down the whole show. Watch this. We're going to cut this up into clips and put it out there because it's literally like valuable piece after valuable piece, because credit is so important. If you're not paying attention to your credit, you don't have good credit. Here's how you resolve that. And I've touched from somebody who's learned that the hard way, the long way, whichever way you want to mention that. But I've got another friend of mine who's done this in the past, and he says, do these things, do these things. If you'll go do them, you can handle it. But if you don't know what you're doing, you want to get it done quickly, you want to have somebody who knows what they're doing to make sure it gets done. That's why they need you.
Yes, sir.
Tori here really knows what he's talking about. What's the biggest mistake some of your competitors? You talked about this a little bit first show, I think, but maybe to reiterate, or if there's something else you can think of, not naming names, of course, but what is some of the biggest mistakes? You mentioned the first show, they just kind of stagger this out to take their time so they can keep collecting that money. Not something you do, obviously. Anything else you think of that they don't do correctly?
They're doing things they're getting it off, and they're getting things off illegal. And what I mean by illegal, they're doing FTC reports or CFPB reports. We do that as well, but we do that at the very end of the 7 to 9 months when we get all this information together. Now we go to the CFPB and say, hey, we have this file here. According to the FCRA, we did everything we were supposed to do. They haven't provided us any information, and according to the FCRA and the credit bureaus, they're supposed to reply within 30 days. We give that to the CFPB, and we go from there. We're not filing fake reports, and we're not doing any of that.
Yeah, I've heard that's true. I've heard that people say, "What is a fake report strategy?" Is that they're going to say?
It's an FTC report. That's basically getting a fake police report, filing a fake FTC report, saying you were trafficked. There's so many codes that they're saying right now on the internet that basically saying that you were you were trafficked. And I hate to say that, but that's one of the.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So.
And that would affect the credit, and that's why your credit went.
Yeah,
down
and then they'll delete it. They'll delete it in 4 days.
Okay.
But some of those companies are not in business right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Because
there's some scams to watch
Oh,
out
it's
for.
a lot of scams, man. A lot. There's a
Okay.
lot. That's why I really had to open up an office 7 years ago, because people wanted to. Credit repair has a dark cloud over it of us anyway. So.
Well, yeah, tell me that. With that in mind, a lot of people I know, they're going, okay, here's somebody we know we can trust. What's the process for somebody to get started with you?
Give us a call. We have a free consultation. Once you give us a call for the free consultation, we use something called Smart Credit. That's our monitoring system. Once you sign up for the monitoring system, we collect your username and password. Once we get the username and password, we do another consultation. And that consultation, I'm going over everything on your credit report. We're talking. We're going to create a credit analysis. I'm going to get that over to you. Once we get that and you agree on what we're doing, you haven't paid any money at this point. Once you agree, we take the $297 and we get started.
Yeah, so people can see that you're legit and you're taking care of things before they even get started.
Yeah.
That way they'll know that there's some obvious work being done, that you know what you're doing to get this process going. It's nice that you put a little bit into this before you even ask for money.
Yeah, it's just like going to the doctor. They can't give you a prescription unless they know what's going on with you. It's the same with us. If I don't know what's going on with your credit, I can't just say, "Oh, give me $497 or $297." Now, some guys are doing that. I need to know what's going on.
First, you must diagnose the problem before you're going to try to fix the problem, right?
Exactly.
That is obviously the case, and that's the process. So once somebody's signed up with you, then you start going at it, and then it's a monthly thing until, as long as they want.
We start with
it's monthly, month to month too.
Yes, month to month. The average client comes in with 15 to 25 derogatory items, and those derogatory items can start from personal identifiers, addresses, inquiries, and then to the collections and things like that. So once we correct those things, I have some clients that are finishing 4 or 5 months. I have some that come in with a lot more stuff, and they may be 9 months. But again, look at the cost per acquisition here. You understand what I'm saying? So $297 compared to you're paying an extra $400 on your mortgage, an extra $350 on your card note.
These are things that make common sense once you analyze them. A lot of people, they just don't take time to sit down and go, yes, that's $300 per month extra you're paying because your credit was not in good.
To be in that situation.
And you could have rectified that pretty easily if you had an expert, have Toriano look at this and make sure. 15 years of doing this stuff, 7 years owning his own company, doing wonderful work in our community. Tell me, what's the biggest objection? What's the biggest question people have? You gave me a funny answer, but it's true. In this space.
Because again, credit repair has a dark cloud. And let me just say this, I don't even call myself a credit repair guy. We help first-time home buyers become lendable. That's what we market.
Okay.
Because I hate to, I'm just saying this to you, but
right.
we don't put ourselves in the credit repair when we're doing our marketing and things like that. We market to first-time home buyers to become lendable or business to become fundable. But the biggest objective that we get is, are you guys a scam? And I'm like, what? Like, I just looked at your credit report and you have 15 people that you haven't paid in 6 months, 2 evictions, 2 foreclosures, and I'm a scam. And they just start laughing like, no, Mr. Torrey, it ain't like that. I'm just like, and so we laugh it off. But that's why I have the office, so you can actually come up and see what we're doing.
There you go. Yeah, somebody, brick and mortar, there's still some need for that, so you can substantiate what it is you're offering and what you're doing in our community, and share with people that you're a real business, that you can do these things. But yeah, how often is it? They don't want this virtual stuff. We don't want to do this.
Right.
I can do interviews remotely. We've done that sometimes, but we've got an actual studio that you can come to. Again, back to that. Make sure you've got something that people can establish it. They know it's there. And you're doing great work there. And boy, how many people do have that question? Is this a scam? Sounds too good to be true. But over time, you've proven this. How many clients do you think you've helped now over your career?
Oh man, thousands.
Thousands. Okay.
Yeah, thousands. We probably do 50 a month.
Okay.
We probably help 50 clients a month. We probably enroll 50 a month.
Okay.
So, and that's our goal, 30 to 50 per month.
Okay. That's a good place to be. With a crew of 5, you can handle all of that and get the work done, and make sure everybody does get. What ultimately gives you the most satisfaction over what you get to do here? You must love this because you're really making an impact on somebody's life.
Just really helping clients. Because again, I've been there before.
Yeah.
2 kids at the time. I had 1 kid where I was trying to start a business. I mean, I couldn't get a pack of T-shirts from JCPenney's, man. Like, it was bad. Like, and I knew it was because of my credit, so I had to figure it out.
Well, there you have it, everybody. An expert in our community making a big difference. Somebody who can help you to get this taken care of. An expert to get your credit in line. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show.